coaches off field, please.
Couple women to keep your eye on here. Teresa Chirotich has run everything from the 1500 to the marathon down in Nairobi, Kenya, now making the trip to South Carolina, where she will represent the Gamecocks this season. She recently ran a 9:26 3K and was 14th at the SEC cross-country meet. That marathon time, by the way, was a 2:36 at altitude, so that would have qualified her for the U.S. Olympic trials, and doing that at altitude is no small feat. Also got a D2 athlete, Anna Fosk, who was 9th at D2 cross country, has 4:49 mile speed, so it could certainly be dangerous late if she can hold on in the middle. Also got D3 representation, running for CPTC Tracksmith. Kate McCrary formerly represented Middlebury, where she had much success at the D3 level. We'll also be keeping our eye on the young athlete from Brown out of Waxhaw, North Carolina, Morgan Boonshaft. Has run some quick times early. Most of the women in this field ranging from about 16 flat to around mid-17s. That's where we expect most of the athletes to be here. Still early season, so a lot of prospective times. That is a nice way of saying optimistic times, as coaches put in whatever they feel like their athlete can run, which it's the coach's job to be optimistic, so we'll cut them some slack there. They come through that first 400 in 79 seconds. We'll see how that shapes up over the course of the race. Currently, it's McCrary out front. She's got more experience on the track than most of these collegiate women, so no surprises to take full advantage by going to the front. The other key about being a post-collegiate athlete, you don't get as many opportunities. You don't have your university paying your way, covering that $100 entry fee into BU every weekend. So you really got to take advantage of the opportunities that you have. McCrary doing that up front, off the bat, running some 40s, getting the pace rolling, and you can already see it split up pretty quickly here. 20 women in the field, ranging with about 2 minutes worth of PR spread. So no surprise to see that happening pretty quickly. I will not be surprised to see some lapped athletes in the later stages of this race, as McCrary is on a mission here up front. Another one right around 40 seconds. So we are on about 16:40 pace through the first K. The collegiate women, for the most part, happy to just ride the train. Couple women back there looking pretty comfortable, but there's no reason to push the pace this early if you've got somebody like McCrary more than willing to take the pace. That is the hard part here in the early stages of the race. There's our second pack doing some work. Nice to see that the women here are packed up, have some people to race against. Last thing you want to do is travel to a meet and end up running a time trial. Coach would always say you can do that on your home track, find some people to race against. McCrary continues to lead. The D2 standout, Anna Fosk, right behind her. Morgan Boonshaft has done well to move up. She was formerly near the back of that pack, now sitting into fourth. Alexandra Saluska has been very quiet there in third as well, doing exactly what you should do in a 5,000. Find the rail and relax. There's Noreen Nabis of George Mason putting in the work farther back. Pulling along Naomi Cass of Bridgewater State. Also got Anya Arroyo, South Carolina, in this lead pack as those top 5 women start to split off just a little bit. The next split we get for you will be the mile. We are now down to 5 women up front. Abby Waddington tries to manage the gap. Hard thing to do. It's about 5:18 through the mile there. Still just under 16:40 pace. Maybe working down to 16:30 pace if McCrary starts putting on the gas pedal a little bit, which it seems like she's not going to have to because Anna Foska's coming up front. You see Colorado Springs athlete. Remember, she's got some really good speed, 4:49 in the mile. It's always hard to tell who has the actual hardest PR of the field, since coaches will put in all sorts of times. But her 16:18.24 is the fastest mark I could find. So no surprise to see her feeling comfortable moving to the front. Working down a little bit under 40s. Prairie behind her, Sluska behind her, and Boone, Shaft, and Arroyo rounding out the rest of this front group. D3, D2, and D1 all in the same pack. It's just showing you how close the divisions have become in the last couple of years. Used to be a very clear defining line between the divisions and the talent levels therein, but I mean, this is evidence of it. Top D2, top D3 athletes mixing it up with D1 athletes, no problem whatsoever. About 2:36 through that K. Yeah, you can see as those lap times start dipping under 40, that's when they're going to start challenging 16:30 and perhaps a little bit faster. Fauska's runs 16:18, so this pace should feel pretty comfortable for her. I like the way Alexandra Sluska has run this race so far for BU. Home track. Probably slept in her own bed last night. Always helps. No nerves, just sitting in the pack, staying relaxed, letting the other ladies do the work as the coaches urge their athletes on. Always a funny sight. Only so much you can do. They're already trying their best. As we see a little bit of gap opening as Faust continues to push on the gas pedal. Prairie holding on just fine, but losing a little bit of space. As I say that, Sluska closes that right back up. Boone Shaft showing a little bit of an experience here, running a good bit on the outside. I don't know if she feels like that gap is going to start opening up and she needs to be there to do something about it. Would like to see her either make a definitive move and slot in right behind the front two ladies or relax and stay behind Anya Arroyo. This indoor track staying on the outside can really add up over the course of a race. 25 laps.
If you are in the dash or hurdles and did not declare your intention to run with an official wearing green at a table, you are now being scratched.
Fosk continues to press on the gas pedal. We are now dipping under 40 once again. Through 8:36 there. 8:35 low. A little past the halfway point of this race. We're now on about 16:30 pace. Looking at that pack of 5, I'd expect them to be able to turn up the gas over the last 2 Ks. And as predicted, coming across a couple of lapped athletes can sometimes be helpful, especially if you're Fosk up front, not to just see empty track, but to have a target that you can go chase after. And as I say that, you can tell she's picked up the pace just a little bit there as we get sight farther back. Another BU athlete, Abby Waddington, putting in work. But as Fosk is picking up these lapped athletes, you can tell she's opening up the pace just a little bit as you can see those gaps start to form in those front 5. Always helps to have a target to chase. And Fosk starting to pull away here a little bit. McCrary holding the gap okay, but those 3 Division I ladies starting to struggle just a little bit. A bit of watch split from Ruby Crass now. Wonder what she's doing splitting her watch. Maybe getting some specific paces, and yep, that's the fastest lap of the race so far, 38.6. Now starting to dip under 16:30 pace. She's run 16:18. McCrary behind her has run 16:28. So if she can keep her eye on the back of Fauska's head, keep it close, she might get a new PR today. Fauska's doing all the work herself. So you see McCrary slow down just a little bit as those 3 Division I women have gotten back on the post-collegiate former D3 athlete's shoulder. Does help to have strength in numbers there. Those 4 women will be able to work together. Especially over the latter stages of this race and try to bring Faust back. I'll tell you this, Anya Arroyo has run a very quiet race there in the South Carolina kit. She's looked comfortable from the start. We'll see if she decides to make a move to the front of this chase pack and try to bring back Faust. McCrary, Saluska, Arroyo, Boonshaft, chasing Anna Faust. The UC Colorado Springs athlete, 9th at Division II cross country, 4:49 speed, 16:18 5K PR to her name, the fastest in the field. She continues to charge, urged on by her coach. It's another sub 40. The chase pack starting to slow down a little bit, losing a second and 1.3 seconds there on Faust that lap. Arroyo moving to the outside there. You can tell she's thinking about moving up. Wonder what her coach is saying to her right now. As Faust continues past the lapped athletes. White singlet in the lead. Chase pack back in the orange and blue, followed by the Boston athlete about 50 meters behind. Another sub 40 as the gap continues to grow. 2.5 Faust put on them in the last lap. I think this will only continue to grow as we reach the latter stages of this race. She comes around Emily Pfeiffer of St. Joseph's. Pfeiffer entered with an 18:10 mark. Might get a little inside pass here from the leader. Number 17 on her chest. Caroline Rosinski, Georgetown Running Club, getting lapped here in the blue. You can tell McCrary has started to pick up the pace for that chase pack, 39.9. Faust stays steady with a 39 low. She's been a metronome here up front since she took over just after the mile. About 3 minutes left in this race. Now Faust is charging on Madison Buttonbone of St. Joseph's. And right around her with another 39.0. See if Faust can close down here over the last couple laps. See if she can't dip under 16:20. It's in her reach if she has a good charge here. Tell McCrary has started to lose a little bit of pace as Alexandra Saluska of Boston University has taken over the chase pack. Anya Arroyo on her shoulder. Morgan Boonshaft staying in the mix. Since that little jostling around 2K, Boonshaft has done well to just sit behind, stay relaxed. 38 flat for Faust on that lap. Fastest one of the race, and we're starting to cut down in the chase pack as well as they all go under 40. I think Arroyo feels good. Would really like to see her put in a charge here early. But I do not think anybody is coming back to Anna Faust. Chase pack continue to slide around lapped athletes. The senior from Wisconsin continues to charge. 38.2, native of Wisconsin, now running for Colorado Springs. Remember her PR. 16-18, under threat here today at the Bouncy House. Looking like they are picking up the pace there in the chase pack as well. Bell lap for Faust, 37.4. She has really cut down on that lap. Fastest lap so far. She's going to be right on her PR of 16.18. She needs a sub 38 lap to do it. Arroyo and Saluska have picked up as well. Arroyo entered with a 16.35. I think she's going to go under that. Saluska entered with a 16.40. She'll go under that as well. 16.18 is the mark to beat for a PR, and she does. It stops the clock in 16.15. New PR for the D2 standout, Anna Faust. There goes Arroyo. Knew she was feeling good. Now time to see her go to the front. Stops the clock around 16.26. Her, Saluska, and Boonshaft all beat their entry marks 16.40 as McCrary comes through right around 16.40 as well. Did a lot of the early pacing. See the rest of the athletes chasing PRs, trying to qualify for conference. On the right, Anna Faust, your winner. New PR for her. Representing UC Colorado Springs. Coach's arm might be sore tomorrow from waving her on every single lap. Good work to the pair. There are your results, left-hand side of the screen. $16.15 for the win, Anna Faust. I think Arroyo can run a good bit faster, but now that she's got that 16.24 under her belt, gains a little bit of confidence. Sat in that chase pack looking real comfortable until about 300 to go. Saluska and Boonshaft also come away with new PRs. And McCrary rounds out the top 5, representing the post-collegiates. We're going to throw to a quick break here before we come back to Boston for the men's 5,000 meters. We are in the final stages of lining up the men's 5,000 here at the Bruce Lehane Scarlet and White Invitational. Starting in this race, we'll have Tommy Gaffey of Brown, Nathaniel Fondakowski of UMass Lowell, his teammate Henry Farrington, Aiden Doherty of St. Joseph's, Sam Collowith of South Carolina, Keegan Tierney, also of UMass Lowell, Dan Pedretti of Rutgers, Timothy Walsh of UMass Lowell, those guys in this race, Robert Jenkins of George Mason, Colin Cernick of Hot Dog Mobile Rock. You heard that right, Hot Dog Mobile Rock. He does sell t-shirts. They are available on his Instagram. Ryan McGorty of MAC, Jacob Shashinsky of Boston University, Axel Loudon running unattached, David Troy of Temple, Daniel Stevens representing OGTC, Graham Thomas of Temple, his teammate Jimmy Cole, Charlie Collins of Maine, Ian Romeo of St. Joseph's, Anthony Dvorsky of NJIT, Liam Tilton of Rutgers, and Kevin Jumper of St. Joseph's. Expect this race to be a lot tighter than the women's race. They had about 2 minutes worth of spread on their entries. The men's race, much, much closer. A lot of guys in the low 14s, couple in the low 15s, but about a minute separating the top marks here and the back marks. So as you can see already, a lot tighter racing already happening as it's McGorty going to the front. Ryan McGorty, the former William and Mary standout, recently engaged. Congratulations. Decided to run a couple laps in celebration of putting a ring on it. David Troy of Temple sitting right behind him. And Axel Loudon run unattached in third position. As we see fan of hot dogs, Colin Cernick, finding his way into fourth. Gordy here on a mission. He's the closest in this field to that elusive sub-14 mark. And if you're going to run sub-14, Bouncy House here at BU is the place to do it. Sure, he wants to impress the fiance as well. Sub-14 would be a nice way to get the winner going here. Everybody else is going to have in the back of their mind marks to qualify for that fast heat at conference. PRs, beating your buddy. A lot of storylines at play here. It is only McGorty who really wants to go up front. Through 5 laps, 2:49. So right on about 14:05 paces, McGorty. There's Mr. Hot Dog, Colin Cernick going to the front. He's not afraid of hard work. Doesn't want to sit back in that pack and let the collegiates do the work for him. 2:49 for the first K, 14:05 pace for Mr. McGorty there. About 3 seconds slower for the rest of the field, running around 14:20s, which is a good day for most of those guys in that pack. A lot of prospective marks. I like looking at the performance list. And whenever a 5K time ends in .00, you know that is, put one way, a prospective mark from coach, put another way, a completely made up guess with a lot of optimism behind it. But as we just saw in that last heat, 3 women broke that prospective mark, so always a possibility. Trying to get your best guess of what your guys can run based off workouts, based off races, based on who they've beat. And Tilton of Rutgers near the front of that chase pack as well. He's run 14:26. Entered with a 14:10 though. Ran 8:14 a few weeks ago. Gordy continues to charge about 4:32 through the mile. Still on 14:05 pace. I'm sure he was hoping to have some guys to run with up here. Cernick in that chase pack farther back. Working hard, giving a lot of space to the William and Mary grad. McGorty formerly represented Central Park Track Club, his distinctive yellow and black kits. Now has made his way to MAC, which I have to admit I know nothing about. Would love to learn some. Fans of the sport may be more familiar with his brother Sean, Olympian. Just raced last weekend at Arkansas. Colin Cernick continuing to lead the chase pack here, trying to bring some collegiates to some new personal best here at the Bouncy House. Ride the hot dog train, he says. He's ready to put in some work.
This is the final call for men hurdlers. Have not picked up hit numbers. Men's hurdlers.
Getting some traffic there on the inside of the track. Need to be respectful of our guys working hard on the oval. David Troy of Temple in that chase pack, saw his bib number. Entered with no time, always love that. Pretty much automatically means you're improved. Always a little extra pressure for these guys when there is a time put down, especially when it's a prospective time. I'll keep using that word from coach. Feel a little bit of pressure, which can be good. You can put that fire under your tail to work hard and go out and accomplish something great. Also can add a good bit of stress if coach throws a time that you don't feel as confident in. That NT no time always feels a little bit nicer. Hard not to accomplish that. All you got to do is finish the race and you are going to beat that. But running in the lead group there is David Troy. His teammate right behind him, I believe that's Graham Thomas. Temple athletes flying together. Cernick decides he's done enough pacing up front, getting out of the way as we keep our eye on the leader there, Ryan McGorty. He is led from Jump Street here, never looked back, never really had anybody to race with. Guys only went about a lap or two with him before they said, I know you, I know your family, you guys are fast. I'm gonna chill farther back here. Charlie Collins of Maine now doing the work up front in the chase pack. Had that bib number a little bit too far left for me to see on the first couple laps, but he's been right there just about the whole race. Now Cernick stepping aside for Collins to do the work, and Collins is up to the task. Collins run 3:49 for 1,500, 8:15 for 3K. Did both of those last week. Busy week for him. Terrier Classic here last week. 340 or 407 through the mile, which counts as 3:49 through the K. 8:31 there through 15 laps. For McGorty, 3K. I got a pace on that here in a sec. 14:11. So McGorty has slowed down a little bit here from the mile to the 3K, 8:31 through 3K. You can tell Collins is starting to reel him back in just a little bit. And you can tell the work that Collins has put in. He was sitting behind Colin Cernick, Mr. Hot Dog, who has now fallen back a little bit. Two Temple teammates there in that chase pack as well. They are all chasing the man in white, Ryan McGorty. Starting to get a little twitchy here in the last 800, wiping his nose, scratching his cheek. Can't tell if he's feeling comfortable or starting to feel under a little bit of distress, but judging from the splits, slowing down just a little bit. I think he is in some pain here. He has run 14:14. He's still on pace for 14:11. Maybe he'll get some help here as he starts reeling in lapped athletes. Left side of your screen is the chase pack. That's Charlie Collins in blue. He's currently in second place. The two Temple athletes in third and fourth with the white tops and the red bottoms. On your right is our leader, Ryan McGorty starting to eat alive some lapped athletes. I think this is going to help a lot. Saw that in the last race. Anna Fausk, winner of the women's 5,000, started speeding up a good bit once she started lapping people. So helpful just to have a target to chase rather than feeling like you're just rabbit running in circles. Charlie Collins on the left side of your screen. Well, now for the back, 14:31, 5K PR. So he is on a good one today. Now, as a coach of post-collegiate athletes, this is the hard thing, right? You've got Ryan McGorty up front trying to take advantage of an opportunity, knows he wants to go under 14, and race starts and he is all by himself. Now you've got Charlie Collins in that blue on the left, the main kit in second place, starting to get back to him. But, you know, if you're Ryan McGorty here, you have to do what you did. If you're trying to break 14, you have to go to the front. You have to try to make something happen, and you just have to hope that one of these collegiates will come back to you and help you out a little bit. But, you know, Ryan has pretty much ran this race all by himself up front, done all the hard work. And I think Charlie Collins is going to get back to him, just looking at that gap. I don't know if McGorty will have something to respond to, but he has just been on his own here at the front for 11 and a half minutes. It wears on you. Meanwhile, Collins has been able to sit in that chase pack for about a mile or 2K, relax the mind, relax the body, let them pull him through. And then when he decided to go up front, he could stare at the back of McGorty's head, have something to chase. And you can see that gap starting to close as Charlie Collins of Maine brings back the former William and Mary athlete, Ryan McGorty. And you just know that McGorty's going to be frustrated when he gets back up there. Man, you catch me, why didn't you run with me the whole time? We could run faster together. Would have helped us both out. But at the end of the day, Charlie Collins is out there for Charlie Collins and nobody else. He's run this race wise and smart, conserving his energy early. Here he goes, getting up on the shoulder of McGorty. Will McGorty be able to respond? I'm sure he feels the footsteps by now. 600 meters to go. McGorty gives him some side eye there. Hey man, where you been the whole time? I've been leading this whole race. It would have been real nice to have somebody to go with. And sure enough, McGorty goes right with him. Collins making the charge, trying to make it from 600 out. The McGortys are known to have some foot speed. I've seen Ryan race before while he was at William and Mary. Not a man you want on your shoulder with 200 meters to go, I'll tell you that. So Charlie Collins trying to put in the work. 400 to go through 13:11. Ryan wants to PR. He needs a sub 60 here, but that is a big ask. Because Collins is starting to speed up, and McGorty trying to respond. Running a sub 60 off of 35.2, and you've been doing the lead the entire time. Not easy. But Collins is having himself a day. 14:31 was his PR coming in to this weekend. McGorty trying to hold on to him, but his mental energy has been spent heavily over the last 23 laps here, but 1 lap to go. Collins leading the way. McGorty trying to chase. McGorty has something here. I don't think it's enough to break his PR of 14:10, but it is enough to get back up to Charlie Collins. He said, "You're going to sit and chase me for 23 laps?" I don't think so. I did the hard work early, and I'm going to close it out now. This is what speed looks like. 14:13 on the clock, maybe 14:12. We'll wait for that official. Charlie Collins had a heck of a day. Here comes the Temple athletes. Graham Thomas gets the better of his teammate, David Troy, running the low 14:20s. Ryan McGorty, I tip my hat off to you. You did a lot of hard work there. I'm sure he feels like he's got sub 14 in the bag. But it is one thing to go run sub 14 and you got a bunch of guys pacing it out for 3K. It's another thing when you go to the front in the first 50 meters and have to do all the hard work himself. Nothing else to do there. Did what he could. Made the right decisions. And a great kick there at the close. Hopefully he finds himself a race with some rabbits, and he gets that sub 14 barrier here in the next couple weeks. Ryan McGorty, your winner, 14:13. somewhat disappointing day for him, but Collins with a great day there in 14:14. Huge PR for the main athlete. Temple Owls flying together, shoulder to shoulder that whole race, with Thomas just out kicking Troy there in the last 100 meters, 14:20, 14:21. Good day for them. They'll be racing again at the conference championship, I'm sure. Jenkins in 5th, Jumper in 6th, Gaffey 7th, Forsky in 8th, Farrington in 9th, and Hot Dog Mobile Rock, Cernick, 14:38 in 10th. And we are going to step aside here for a moment before we come back to some 60-meter hurdle prelims. Take a break, and we'll be back here on FloTrack. Welcome back to Boston. It is the Bruce Lehane Scarlet and White Invitational here on FloTrack. I'm Hayden Cox, bringing you the action all day long. If you're just joining us, make sure to sit tight. We've got some great races coming later this afternoon. Really excited for some 3,000-meter racing with a lot of professional athletes from the United States and abroad trying to qualify for the U.S. Championships and the World Athletics Indoor Championships in China later this winter. Also have a potential American record on watch. Women's mile, that's coming at you at 1:55 Eastern. Shelby Houlihan makes her return. But first, we're going to turn our attention to the prelims of the 60-meter hurdles. See that on your left. Pay attention to the qualifying. Winner of each heat automatically gets to the final, plus 1 Q. Next 5 fastest advance. So that'll go by on time. 5 little Qs, I should have said. There's your start list for Heat 1. So what's always fun about these races at BU is I don't know who's going to be in the races till they show up, because they seed them in the morning. I don't know if you heard the PA announcer during the 5K. Getting on some athletes for not checking in. But listed on the start line for Heat 1, we have Catherine Moreland of Ottawa University in lane 2. Melissa Goy of Albany in lane 3. Letitia Koravutazi of the University of Montreal in lane 4. Alexandria Grasso of UMass Loyal in 5. Adriana Fan of the University of Montreal in 6. Marissa Gordon of UAlbany in 7. Flora Ballo de Galanta of UMass Lowell in 8. And Eliza McPhee of Maine in 9. Eliza just saw her teammate Charlie Collins start the day off with some good vibes. Always helps to get that going. We saw that at the Olympics with the U.S. men. Some early start, and Grant Fisher getting some folks excited, lifting up the vibes, keeping that positive energy, and a massive, massive medal haul for the U.S. men. See if Maine can do the same thing today. Charlie Collins getting folks excited early in the morning. Remember, fastest athlete advances automatically. Everybody else has to wait on time. Good start in 3. But it's the middle lane starting to extend. That's Grasso and Fan doing battle. I think it's going to be Fan of University of Montreal. Took the lead there. Clock stops in 8:75. We'll wait for the official. A little bit of confusion off where to go after the race. That is always the last thing the athletes are thinking about. As you can see, all their eyes up on the board, waiting for the results. And there we go. Grasso getting the auto cue there. My eyes deceive me. 8:77 will move her along. Fan with the fastest time of the field, 8:80. That 60-meter hurdle final will be at 12:40. So I'm sure they're already going to stick their legs up, get a sip of water. as we look to Heat 2. Johanna Barmettler of UC Santa Barbara in 2. Karima McKenzie of Brown in 3. Deanna Robinson of Albany in 4. Shakia Plummer of South Florida in 5. I've seen her race before. She's got some talent. Manroka of BU in 6. Allison Cho of UC Santa Barbara in 7. Michaela White of Yale in 8. Maya Cordoba of UC Santa Barbara in 9. Good start from Plummer. Plummer off to an early lead and not looking back. Challenged a little bit by Roca of BU, but it is going to be all Shakia Plummer. Stopping the clock in 8:55, stamping that auto cue to the final at 12:40. She's like, that was easy. I'm just warming up. I'm just waiting for the final. I don't even know why you made me race that. Look at how easy that was. Good race there by Miss Plummer. 8:60 auto cue. Roca will have to wait on time with that 8:80. Plummer non-phase there. She's got some steep competition in her conference if she wants to win a 60-meter hurdle indoor title. American Conference, very strong in that event. Although I will note that most of her competition will come from her teammates. Very, very good sprint hurdle program there, South Florida. Women of Heat 3 set their blocks. We'll introduce them. Ali Tito of UC Santa Barbara. Shanice Stats of U Albany. Deanna Courteau of Ottawa University. Maddie Conte of UC Santa Barbara. Caitlin Delgandio of U Albany. Darren Davis of Connecticut. Her teammate Mackenzie Bronstein on her shoulder. And Grace Adieye of Albany in the outside. As you can tell, we have power seeded these races. So women in the middle of the track coming in with faster marks. We've got 2 sub-9s in the field. Conte and Delgandio have both run 8:58. They're in 5 and 6. UC Santa Barbara in 5, Albany in 6. Only one automatic qualifier. Ooh, a little twitchy there. Delgandio lost her balance there in the blocks. I think we're going to be generous here. It is just the prelims, college race. Green cards all around. Just getting the nerves out in the prelims. Still a little bit twitchy there from Conti, who gets a good start there in 5. She's getting challenged on the outside by Delgandio. Can she bring it back? It is going to be shoulder to shoulder there. I cannot tell from that angle, but they came in with the same PR, and boy, did it look like it there at the finish as they were shoulder to shoulder. Conti with a slightly better start. Delgandio making up some ground there on the back half of the race. We'll wait for the result. Conti gets it, 8.75. Delgandio with that 8.78 should be okay on time. But I'm sure she would have liked to have the win there. Always a little bit of a mental edge when you can beat your competitor in the prelim. Harder to come back in the final. South Florida Bulls there have made themselves a home right next to the 60-meter start. Makes sense for them. Very good sprint program. A little bit of mind games, perhaps, making sure all the other competitors see that green and gold. Heat number 4, you see that start list on your left. Felicia O of St. Joseph's in 2. Maria Camposano of Brown in 3. Riley Marks of UConn in 4. Antoinette Galloway of Albany in 5. Another South Florida Bull, Nia Richards in 6. Cassia Provençal of Yale in 7. Erica Lawson of Maine in 8. And Nyanuchi Okemgo of UC Santa Barbara in 9. So we always keep our eyes on the South Florida Bulls when they are on the track. But Nia Richards does not have the fastest time in this heat. Fastest time is Antoinette Galloway coming in lane 5, so we will keep an eye on her. Sure enough, good start by Galloway. Good start on the inside too, but Galloway is going to continue the charge, and it is all Galloway. Ooh, we got a fall there. I think that was Okemgo of UC Santa Barbara, but it was Galloway who took it wire to wire. A couple things to clean up there with the step pattern, but overall a good prelim. Didn't need it to be your best race, just needed to get to the final. Let's see what that mark comes in at. .866. Nowhere near her best, but not important at this stage of the meet. Just get to the final. Work on some technique. And that'll be a wrap on the women's 60-meter hurdle prelims. While our volunteers here set the heights, we will step away and we will be back for the men's 60-meter hurdle prelims here on FloTrack. Welcome back to Boston. It is the Bruce Lehane Scarlet and White Invitational. I'm Hayden Cox bringing you the action all day long here on FloTrack. We are getting ready here for the prelims of the 60-meter hurdles. Just finished the women's edition. Now getting ready for the men's. If you're just joining us, stay tuned. We've got some really great racing all day long. Some stacked 3K and 800-meter heats. We might have a world lead on watch in the 800s especially. And if we're lucky, a potential American record coming later this afternoon in the mile. Shelby Houlihan retakes the track. I got to see her race 2 weeks ago in Arkansas. She is fit and ready to roll. But first, got some men trying to qualify for the final here, the 60-meter hurdles. 2 heats. Auto cue to the winner of each heat. Next 7 fastest advance. So need to be as far up in that heat as possible. That final will come your way at 12:43 Eastern Time. Some good running from the South Florida Bulls on the women's side. They will not have any men running in the 60-meter hurdles. They've got a couple entered in the 60-meter flats. Always interesting to see who is on the start list the day before and who ends up actually racing. Coaches shifted things all the way up to the last minute. Sometimes just trying to build some mental toughness for these athletes. And as Heat 1 steps up into their blocks, I'll give him the announcement. Anthony Couch of UAlbany will be in lane 3. Justin Jourdain of NJIT in 4. Jordan Quinn of UConn in 5. Brandon Riley of UMass Lowell in 6. Stephen Franco of BU in 7. Always rooting for the host. Derek Monroe of UMass Lowell in 8. Fastest mark coming in is Jordan Quinn's 8:36 of UConn. That's him there in the middle. Dark kit, white shoes. It's a good look. Lane 5. Good start there from Jourdain on the inside. We're starting to get a battle from Franco and Quinn. I think Quinn took it there over Franco. We'll find out on the full result. Really good start there from Jourdain. Quinn took it, 8:40. Franco, 8:42. Pretty quick heat there. I think that's a PR. Franco, he came in with an enter time of 8:63, so if that is accurate, 8:42 is a nice little PR there in the prelims. Riley with that 8:62 will be a little disappointed. He's run 8:46, but should still advance to the final, depending on heat number 2. There's your start list for Heat 2. Link Lignell of Brown in lane 2. Krishmar Powell of UAlbany in 3. Kendall Mary Archer of Albany in 4. Micah Perry of BU in 5. Idlaire Olivier of UMass Lowell in 6. Andrew Monroe of Maine in 7. And Gabriel Ty of Brown in 8. Brown on the inside and the outside. Probably used to doing starts together. Just be a little different. Fastest entered time is Micah Perry's 8:05. He's the fastest entered in the entire event. He's in that distinctive red kit there in the middle. Perry with a good start. Powell with a good start as well there in 2, but it is going to be all Perry. Never looked back. 8:39 on our clock. We'll wait for the official, but he is certainly finding his way into the final. Albany teammates shaking hands there. Official wants him to go one way. He says, hey, this is my track. I know where I'm going. Don't worry about it. Micah Perry, BU champion of heat number 2. There he is. 8:41 gets the auto qualifier. Mariachi, 8:59 of Albany. Powell, 8:60. 8:59, 8:60 there. Those should both go through as well. They'll probably get lanes opposite of each other rather than next to each other as they did here in the heats. And there is your qualifier list for the final coming your way later this afternoon. That'll be at 12:43. So keep an eye out for all those gentlemen coming back shortly. And as the volunteers take away their hurdles, we will step away before coming back with the flat 60-meter prelims here on FloTrack. Your college sports have a home on Flow College. Watch more than 12,000 college sporting events from 100 schools and 12 different conferences only on Flow College. Head to flowcollege.com today to see everything now. And welcome back to Boston. It is the Bruce Lehane Scarlet and White Invitational. I'm Hayden Cox, bringing you the action all day here on FloTrack. Working our way through some prelims. Had some good 60-meter hurdle prelims. Now moving to the 60-meter flat as we warm up the track for some great distance events later this afternoon. could have a potential world lead in the 800. Some really strong women's and men's field. Looking for some world and U.S. qualifiers in the 3K and a potential American record. We'll be keeping our eyes on Shelby Houlihan for that in the mile. But first, women's 60-meter prelims. Frenner in 1, Tennant in 2, Binns in 3, McDuffie in 4, Hunt in 5, Quaino in 6, Hansen in 7, Larson in 8, and Thomas in 9. It looks like it was the Albany teammates up quick. Hunt with a really good race there. She came in with a 7:49 PB. Teammate McDuffie on her shoulder also ran well. There it is. Hunt with the auto Q, 760. Hansen actually taking second there, 784. So one auto qualifier per heat, next 6 fastest times. So Hansen was at 784 and Binns with that 801 still might have a chance at finding their way into the final at 12:46. Here's heat number 2. Cecilia Abruzzo of St. Joseph's in 1, Naomi Campbell of Albany in 2, Lehane Sutherland of Northeastern in 3, Lily Palacio Lewis of Westchester in 4, Dominique Clark of Albany in 5, her teammate Shantae Price in 6, Judith Walker of St. Joseph's in 7, Amy LeBlanc of the Ottawa Lions Track and Field Club in 8, and Elena Tweedy of BU in 9. Fastest entrant here is Dominique Clark in lane 5. Here she is, the blue shoes, Albany kit. Her teammate on her right, also one of the faster marks. So keep your eyes on Clark and Price, the teammates in the middle. Price with a really good start there in 6 and is going to pull away. Yeah, it looks like Clark might have a little bit of an injury there. She kind of limps off. Clark had the fastest mark, but looked a little timid. As we wait for the official results. There you are, Price 766, auto Q. Palacio Lewis of Westchester should get in as well with that 786. And yeah, there's Clark 799. Pretty far off her personal best. Maybe fighting some injury there. Just didn't look too comfortable there as her teammate Price takes the win. And will auto advance to the final. Remember, 6 times will advance in addition to our leaders. So still a chance there. We go with heat number 3, Lily Ferguson of St. Joseph's in 1, her teammate Maya Adams in 2. 2 Yukon athletes, Audrey Kozak in 3, Sarah Claflin in 4, Lynette Scutari of South Florida in 5, Jeray Apong Nikita of Ottawa Lions in 6, Rose Basu of Carleton in 7, Bailey Shanahan of Maine in 8, and Osmond Morgani of Albany in 9. South Florida immediately out there. That's Scutari, but she's getting chased down on her outside of Pong Nikita of Ottawa Lions. Pong Nikita may have taken that, I think. Didn't have it at the start. That's why you're on the full 60. Scutari certainly had the best start there and has the fastest time coming in, 7:46. Pong Nikita does not want to rely on time getting into the final. She'd rather have the dub. She gets it by 1/100th of a second. Pong Nikita of Ottawa Lions make the trip from Canada, showing the Americans how it's done. Scutari should be fine there with that 7.69, finding her way to the final. Really good start. Just needs to clean up the middle of the race there. She's got more speed than that. She's run 7:46. And here are your qualifiers. Hunt, Price, Pong Nikita, Scutari, Basu, Hansen, Kozak, Palacio Lewis, and Claflin. Clark is your first one out from Albany. She's fighting injury. That may be a blessing in disguise. Get healthy, come back stronger. But we will see all those women again at 12:46 for the women's 60-meter final. Next, we will have our men here. A couple of minutes. 5 heats of the men. Still have a couple minutes here. So we'll take a look at that start list. And if they run on time here, they'll start in about 4 minutes. So we will step away here and be back with the action shortly here on FloTrack. And we're going to run ahead of schedule here in Boston. Not a place to run behind on meet, so we'll go ahead and turn our attention to the men's 60-meter dash prelims. Top athlete advances automatically. We'll have Garcia in 2, Renaliki in 3, Davis Whitaker in 4, Abdul Rashid, keep an eye on him in 5. As the race begins, we are watching Abdul Rashid, who just demolishes everybody. Also had Emisoji of UMass Lowell in 6, Anwazuriki in 7, Henry in 8, and Raji in 9. But it is Samino Abdul Rashid who absolutely dominated there from start to finish. He was a Paris Olympian in 2024, represented Ghana. 6.72 there for him is light work. He has run 6.57. Gold medalist in the African Games in the 4x1. If you have not watched that race, that is one of the most exciting and best announced races. I'm a little biased always listening to the announcer, but just a super fun race to watch. The 2024 African Games 4x1, where Samino Abdul Rashid won that gold medal. He has 3 school records at South Florida. Looking forward to watch him again in the final, where he just stamped his ticket. That'll be at 12:49. First, we'll turn our attention to heat number 2. Farrell of Westchester in 2, Marnaris of Montreal in 3, Kea of UMass Lowell in 4, Howard of Northeastern in 5, Bennett of Phillips Exeter in 6, Henry of Montreal in 7, Kindi, his teammate, in 8, and Turner of St. Joseph in 9. We're missing Bennett. Tight race between 4 and 6 there. That's Kaya and Bennett. I think it was Kaya who had it. He certainly seems to think so. Always entertains me watching the guys get shepherded off the track. They do not care where they go. They just want to see the time. As do we, as we await the official timer's result. Really like those Montreal kits. They're off the right side of your screen right now. We'll have a couple more of their athletes racing throughout the day today. Really good looking blue. And it was Bennett that takes the win. 7.03. Kaya misses it by 1/100th of a second, but should be fine going into the final. Kindi and Henry will be on the hot seat. The Montreal athlete